Hey, yo, check this out. Apparently I have an addiction because I just can't stop. You see it. Cuban family that backed Trump cries after ICE picks up their son. He failed us. Let's check it out.
Esta es una abuela que tiene 85 años de edad, extraña a su nieto. El nieto era el que la ayudaba, le daba su leche, la levantaba de la cama, la volvía a acostar.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop it there because this is pulling on my heartstrings. And all I really have to say is, lo siento, abuela, y dile adios. Oh yeah, cue the music.
I will vote for Donald Trump. I will vote. Raise your hands, come on. For Donald Trump.
Oh yeah, I couldn't forget about the remix.
Tengo trabajo, no tengo nada, porque por el presidente de Donald Trump que está tirando todos los inmigrantes todo para afuera. ¿Qué culpa tenemos nosotros?
The Supreme Court ruled, and it is going to allow Trump and his administration to strip the humanitarian parole of 500,000 people from 4 countries. A protection that was in place to keep them from being deported is being stripped, and it is going to result in at least 500,000 people being deported who come from 4 countries. Do you want to guess what one of those countries is? The very first one listed? Cuba. Donald Trump and his administration are revoking the protection of thousands of Cubans. Without that protection, those Cubans do not have legal asylum in the United States. And the Trump administration is going to deport thousands of Cubans and send them back to Cuba.
What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in. Kindly like the video as you are watching, and do not forget to leave your thoughts and your opinions in the comment section. So guys, this crisis that is going on with the Cuban community and the Latinos is a classic case of do not wish evil for your neighbor. Yes. So with the Cubans, they felt like they had the legislature and some laws in place to protect them from deportation. And now those laws have been scrapped out and now they are involved. But before they decided to vote for this administration, they felt they were exempt and it was only going to be other immigrants and probably criminals that were going to be affected. And you see how you are feeling now, losing your families to deportation and everything. That's exactly how the other communities would have been feeling. And so, yeah, this is just like a taste of what you wish for someone else.
Yanet Correa screams injustice after her husband was placed on an expedited deportation order after showing up to his immigration check-in in Miami. The detentions are not only creating panic and fear, but Correa's immigration attorney tells NBC6 it's also creating confusion. Immigration court attorney Antonio Ramos tells us this is now the new normal. As the detention of immigrants with what's known as the I-220A form continues, Ramos explained what's been happening inside the court.
People get in front of the judge. The DHS offered dismissal of the case, and I have to make a parenthesis because dismissal of the case in the previous administration, people saw it as a good thing because they're not going to be arrested. So a lot of people accept the dismissal. When they accept the dismissal, they withdraw the application in front of the judge. The case is closed in front of the judge. They are literally in a legal limbo and they can be detained.
Julissa Hernandez panicked when she saw that her husband's check-in took longer than expected. Her husband was eventually released, but now she's worried about what will happen to her when she shows up for her own immigration check-in next week.
Did y'all hear about this? Cubanos that have historically supported the Republican Party and have been pretty outspoken about supporting Trump are now more vulnerable than ever. But let's talk about this. For many decades, people that had left Cuba came to the United States and were protected from deportations. Their anti-Castro, anti-communist perspective, anti-socialist aligned very well with the Republican Party, and they embraced that identity when they arrived to places like Florida. But under the current administration, many protections that existed have been revoked, and many people in that community are facing fear and uncertainty about what's going to happen next. Honestamente, I know for many folks it's gonna be hard to feel bad because in many ways they were asking for this for other communities, and it makes sense that they feel betrayed because they were supporting this, not expecting it to affect them. Let me add one more thing. Cuban exiles in the United States are not a monolith, so of course not all of them were pro-deportation, but the ones that were happen to be the louder voices. I know many people in the community that have been talking about this aren't going to feel any sympathy, essentially saying they effed around and found out. I for one think it's sad. The idea of people losing their livelihood and being deported is just inhumane. But I want this to be a conversation. Familia, what do you all think about this? Do you have sympathy or not? Let me know.
Garcia said she and her husband arrived from Cuba 4 days ago and are seeking asylum. He went into the immigration office, but after several hours, there was no sign of him.
He just came in and snatched her.
This man said his wife from Venezuela was taken into custody during a raid in the Miami neighborhood of Brownsville over the weekend, and that 2 construction workers were also rounded up.
I like Donald Trump. I think so he's doing wrong. Because you know, fix the problem, just isolate the people.
Beyond betrayed. They used us.
Y'all remember the Cuban MAGA activist, Hector Luis Valdez? He has been arrested by ICE for robbery and could be sent to Guantanamo Bay as soon as today. He finds himself facing some serious consequences. This Cuban MAGA activist situation escalates very, very quickly. Reports indicate that he could be sent to Guantanamo Bay as soon as today. Valdez also has been a MAGA activist, been spoke out critics, and now fate hangs in the balance. This happens when you vote against your own interests. This is what he voted for, so he cannot blame nobody but himself. Well, look at this. He voted for what he wanted, right? Send him back to Cuba. That's what they gotta do. I did my research on the ICE page, and yes, he pops out. He's detained in the ICE facility in Florida. That's what happened when you vote against your own interests. He loved Papi Trump. Now get Papi Trump in Guantanamo Bay. That karma that he so richly deserves, you got it, boo. You're going back home.
They really thought they were different. They really thought they were better than all the rest. And they really thought they had the golden ticket. Cuban community responds with outrage after mother is deported, leaving her nursing baby behind. The deportation of Haiti Sanchez, a breastfeeding Cuban mother, has sparked outrage within the Cuban community in the U.S. And you know what? I don't have a video this time, but you know what I do have? I have my favorite song. Cue the music.
I will vote for Donald Trump. I will vote. Raise your hands, come on. For Donald Trump.
Messages, though, for the Cubans for Trump. Actually, for all Latinos for Trump. The Supreme Court just revoked the legal status of 500,000 people from like Cuba, Haiti, Venezuela, I think, and somewhere else. So you guys better start packing your shit, because they're coming after you. They don't care that you voted for them. They never cared about you in the first place, dog. We tried to tell you this shit, but you didn't listen. So now they're coming after you. Supreme Court just ruled on it. You guys better start packing, because they're going to either leave on your own terms now at this point, or they're going to come after you. You guys are in danger. And you voted for it. That's the crazy part.
Did you know that Cuban deportees, especially the ones that are political dissidents and the ones seeking asylum in the U.S., face a significant risk of torture when they come back to Cuba? So when we ask ourselves, when will Latinos for Trump open their eyes, specifically the Cuban ones? The answer is they never will. And there's no better example than the Cuban for Trump than El Funky. He's a Cuban rapper that's currently facing deportation and possible imprisonment in Cuba since his music helped fuel anti-government protests in Cuba. Someone that's been really silent about this case is self-hating Marco Rubio, a Cuban himself. It's a perfect illustration of how much Marco Rubio has changed up during the Trump presidency. Even just a year ago, I'm sure Marco Rubio would have been the loudest person about this case. It's also a crazy example of how much Trump has changed up about Cuban immigration policies. For decades, the U.S. has rolled out the red carpet for Cubans, despite Trump refusing to help these Cubans who have overwhelmingly voted for him. They are still very much pro-Trump, including the rapper El Funky. Talk about fucking around and never finding out.
Cuban-American woman from Miami here. Actually, I'm from Hialeah. That's real deep. If you know, you know. I'm from Hialeah. I'm originally a Hialeah girl. I am from South Florida. I grew up in a Cuban community. My mom's Cuban. I'm ashamed, and I just want to tell the world I'm sorry. Not all of us Cubans are like that. Some of us do have empathy. Some of us do feel solidarity with the rest of the Latino community that's going through it. Some of us knew this was what was going to happen and tried to warn our friends and family. I have to explain to you why it's so different in South Florida. The Cubans there live in this bubble where they're the majority, and they think that they're white, and they live in a certain bubble of privilege where they don't see discrimination directed towards them because they're the majority. But I promise you, to those Cubans that haven't really left South Florida, just drive a couple hours north and you're going to realize you're not white. You're not white. You're never going to be white enough for them. So I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed of your votes. I'm ashamed of those stupid fucking videos I see you posting. You're embarrassing yourselves because, I see those three Doritos later videos, and I can't help but fucking laugh. Sometimes I feel bad. I feel bad because the person getting deported didn't vote for shit. But I have family members that are getting deported, and I have family members that voted for this fucking shit. And I'm never gonna share a table with them because now you want to feel sorry and now you want to feel bad. Now you see the consequences of your action where our own family's getting deported. It's too little, too late. Too little, too late. I see some of you crying on these videos saying how you regret your vote. I wish you had thought about it before. But these are the consequences. This is what happens when you don't give a fuck about your other fellow humans. Karma's gonna get right back at you. So again, this is an apology video to the rest of the Latino community. Please know, not all of us Cubans from Miami are like that. I'm not. Thanks, and I hope you all have as good a weekend. As good a week as you can have. Weekend. I wish it was the weekend in the beginning of the week. But anyway, I wish you all a good week. And know that not all of us are like that. Not all of us are pieces of shit.
The unfortunate thing is not everybody voted for this. And now every single one has to go through this unfortunate crisis. This makes it quite sad. All I can say is all the best to the communities that are directly or indirectly affected by this new development. What do you think, guys? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.